Bonnie Blue became a recognizable name on OnlyFans, a platform where creators share exclusive content with paying subscribers. She stood out by pushing boundaries. Her brand was provocative, her stunts daring, and her persona unapologetic. Subscribers weren't just buying content, they were buying into a lifestyle that seemed glamorous and rebellious. Through social media, she amplified this image, making her life look both audacious and enviable. Bonnie's success was built on controversy and risk, which kept her audience engaged and her income high. But this strategy also put her on a collision course with the rules of the very platforms that enabled her rise. The digital world gave her a stage, but it was a stage with shifting boundaries and hidden pitfalls. Bonnie's story is a modern tale of how quickly a digital empire can rise, and how fragile it can be when built on defiance. She wasn't a traditional celebrity, she was a product of a new media landscape, where anyone can build an empire from their bedroom. Yet, the same qualities that fueled her ascent, risk-taking and controversy, would soon lead to her downfall. Her journey highlights both the opportunities and dangers of online fame. In the end, Bonnie Blue's brand was as precarious as it was bold. The very audacity that made her famous would become her greatest liability. Her story is a warning about the fine line between digital success and real-world consequences. Bonnie Blue's OnlyFans account was banned for violating the platform's terms of service. Her provocative public stunts likely crossed lines even OnlyFans wouldn't tolerate. Losing her main income source forced her to operate independently, without the oversight or safety net of a major platform. Instead of pulling back, she doubled down, pushing boundaries further and taking her content international. The ban didn't serve as a warning, it was a green light for even riskier behavior. She sought new audiences and locations, eventually landing in Bali. Without platform rules to restrain her, she now faced the much harsher laws of sovereign nations. The OnlyFans ban was more than a business setback. It was a sign of escalating risk. Bonnie's willingness to test limits had moved from digital platforms to real-world legal systems. The skills that made her successful online, audacity and risk-taking, would soon put her in serious jeopardy. Her story shows how quickly the stakes can rise when creators ignore the boundaries set by both platforms and countries. The ban was the first domino in a chain of events leading to far more severe consequences. Bonnie Blue's next chapter would be written not by algorithms, but by the law. Bali's serene beaches became the backdrop for a dramatic police raid on Bonnie Blue's rental studio. Acting on intelligence, authorities arrested Bonnie and 17 male tourists, suspecting them of producing pornographic material, strictly illegal in Indonesia. The scale of the operation, with nearly 20 people involved, suggested a commercial enterprise, not a private gathering. The raid was meticulously planned, indicating Bonnie's activities were under surveillance. For the tourists, what began as an adventure turned into a legal nightmare. Passports were confiscated, and all were swept into a major criminal investigation. The holiday rental had become a makeshift film studio, its privacy shattered by law enforcement. Indonesian authorities made it clear their relaxed tourist atmosphere does not extend to breaking moral and legal codes. Bonnie's digital world collided with the hard reality of national law. She may have thought she was operating in private, but in Indonesia, her actions were a serious crime. The raid ended her Bali enterprise instantly, exposing the risks of ignoring local laws. Paradise had a much stricter side than she anticipated. The consequences for everyone involved were immediate and severe. The Bali raid wasn't just about arrests, it was about evidence. Authorities seized professional video cameras, a large supply of contraceptives, and erectile drugs, all pointing to a planned commercial operation. This wasn't a spontaneous party, it was an organized production. The most telling item? Bonnie Blue's branded Bangbus, a mobile advertisement for her adult content. The vehicle's name left little doubt about its purpose, making discretion impossible. For law enforcement, the Bangbus symbolized Bonnie's brazen approach. The evidence, cameras, drugs, and the bus, formed a compelling case for prosecutors. Each item told a story of intent, planning, and commercial activity. The raid dismantled her operation and provided tangible proof of her alleged crimes. Bonnie's bold branding, once her asset, became a liability in court. The authorities' message was clear: such enterprises would not be tolerated. The physical evidence left little room for denial. Bonnie's Bali venture was over, her tools of the trade now in police custody. In the digital age, evidence isn't just physical. Bonnie's own social media became a key part of the case. She posted videos on Instagram openly soliciting schoolies, young tourists, for her projects. These public posts were essentially confessions, showing her recruiting participants and flaunting her activities. For investigators, her digital trail was a goldmine. No need for undercover work when the suspect broadcasts everything. The seized videos became crucial evidence, documenting her actions in her own words and images. Bonnie's lack of awareness, or disregard, for local laws was glaring. What might be edgy content in the West was a direct violation in Indonesia. Her posts blurred the line between brand building and self-incrimination. The permanence of digital content turned her marketing into a prosecutor's exhibit. Instagram Reels meant to attract followers instead built the case against her. Bonnie's story is a stark reminder. In the age of oversharing, your online persona can become your own worst enemy. The digital world may feel borderless, but the consequences are very real. Her downfall was broadcast for all to see, including law enforcement. Bonnie Blue's predicament was shaped by Indonesia's strict anti-pornography laws. Since 2008, producing or distributing any material deemed pornographic is a serious crime, punishable by up to 15 years in prison and hefty fines. The law's broad definitions give authorities wide latitude to prosecute, reflecting Indonesia's conservative values. For foreigners, ignorance is no excuse. Local law always prevails. Critics say the law suppresses personal freedoms, but supporters argue it protects cultural values. The law's reach is extensive, targeting both large-scale producers and individuals. Even private acts can lead to prosecution if discovered. Bonnie's actions, which might have led to a platform ban at home, became a major crime in Indonesia. The legal system makes no distinction between public and private content creation. Producing adult material for distribution is illegal, period. Bonnie's case became an international incident, highlighting the clash between online culture and national law. Her digital fame offered no protection from the realities of Indonesian justice. The consequences were far more severe than anything she faced online. Legal experts weighed in as Bonnie's case made headlines. While Indonesia's laws allow for up to 15 years in prison, deportation is often the more likely outcome for foreigners. Immigration lawyer Philo Delano explained that deportation removes the problem without the diplomatic headaches of a lengthy trial. Blacklisting would bar Bonnie from returning, sending a strong message without prolonged incarceration. Authorities may be more interested in dismantling larger networks than making an example of one creator. Still, the high-profile nature of the case could pressure prosecutors to seek harsher penalties. The final decision rests with the courts, influenced by evidence, defense, and public sentiment. The gap between maximum penalties and likely outcomes is significant. Deportation is severe, but preferable to years in prison. Bonnie's fate would hinge on legal strategy and political climate, not just the letter of the law. Bonnie Blue's arrest sent shockwaves through the online adult content community. Fellow creator Sarah Button shared her own experiences of being detained in multiple countries, highlighting the risks creators face even when traveling for personal reasons. The profession often draws scrutiny from border officials, leading to invasive searches and questioning. These challenges aren't limited to conservative countries. Prejudice exists everywhere. The community responded with concern, emphasizing the need to research local laws before traveling. Bonnie's case became a real-time lesson in the dangers of assuming online freedoms apply everywhere. Conversations turned to risk management and legal awareness. The incident underscored how a single misstep abroad can have life-altering consequences. Empathy, not judgment, dominated the response, as creators recognized their shared vulnerability. Bonnie's story became a cautionary tale for anyone making a living online. Bonnie Blue's Bali bust is more than a tabloid headline. It's a cautionary tale for the digital age. Her story is about the clash between the borderless internet and the hard boundaries of national law. Bonnie thrived in a digital world that rewarded risk, but failed to respect the laws of the places she visited. The lesson is clear. Online fame offers no immunity from real-world consequences. Her own social media posts became evidence against her, turning self-promotion into self-incrimination. The desire for attention can cloud judgment, leading to public documentation of illegal acts. Bonnie's risk-taking, once her brand's strength, became her undoing in a different legal context. the consequences escalated from a platform ban to a potential prison sentence. Her story is a sobering reminder of the limits of personal freedom and the power of national law. For online creators, it's a warning. Research local laws, respect cultural norms, and remember that digital actions have real-world stakes. Bonnie Blue's experience will echo through the creator community for years. The digital world may feel limitless, but the real world always has boundaries. Her saga is a lesson written in real time, a warning for all who live their lives online.